I'm Bambi Francisco with Vader News. Well, how are fans around the world changing their behavior online? Well, who better to talk to me about that than Kevin Chou? He's the CEO and founder of Watercooler, which is a service that creates applications for fans to aggregate fans around their favorite teams and around their favorite shows. And Kevin, you were just saying that, welcome first of all, and you were saying that fans are now more transparent, which is a trend pretty much online across the board. So why don't you talk a little bit about how fans are being more transparent and how they're changing the way they're showing their passion?
Yeah, sure. So I've been using, quote unquote, the internet before it was even called the internet. So I was kind of a big nerd back in the
early 90s, 80s?
Back in the mid-90s with the message boards and bulletin board services where you had to use a modem to dial up and so forth. And, you know, and even back then, even in 1995, when I started getting online, so to speak, there were message boards and chat rooms about all sorts of different things. But one of the most popular things were always sports and kind of television entertainment, right? And back then, you would go into these chat rooms and you would have no idea who anybody is. People come up with these screen names like, you know, Steelers fan for life or something, and they spell it all funky, and you have no idea who they really are. They can say whatever they want to say. There's no identity associated with it, really. So you had these people, and that was not for just sports or entertainment. That was pretty much across the web. And then comes along a number of different things, but Facebook being one of the most kind of the role model here. And people start using their real names, and people start using their real photos. And I think what that's done around the web is really add a layer of transparency. So no longer are you just this faceless person that can do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and there's no way to track it back to you in real life. You know, you go onto somebody's Facebook page and you go take a look at their profile, you're able to really see what that person's about and see who that person really is. And I think that level of transparency is starting to flow throughout the broader internet. But certainly for us application developers, that's something that we enjoy quite a bit of as well. And so in our applications, people who are Steeler fans, for example, are using their real names, their real photos, and they're saying that, hey, I'm a huge Steelers fan. And they want all of their friends, they want all of their family, they want all 270,000 people who are Steeler fans on Watercooler's applications to know that. And so that's a tremendous step. So you don't have, especially in sports, you could see how fans can get really excitable and use all sorts of adult languages and so forth. So if you scroll down on this application and you go to this officers, maybe if you click on this top officers here on Jason.
Officers at the way bottom. Okay, so officers. Okay, Jason. Members
try clicking on Jason there.
Okay.
So it shows how long he's been a member of our Steelers application in our community.
Right, because you're writing on Facebook too, so you really can kind of look into who this person is. But you also capture a lot of
But we also
stats.
capture our own profile, and so there's different things that Jason's telling us about his favorite players, his favorite moments in sports, how much he knows about being a Steelers fan, how much he's added to this community, who his friends are, who he's friended inside of our Steelers application, his recent discussion posts. So this guy, when he's on our discussion boards, he's not an anonymous Steelers fan that's able to smack talk a Cardinals fan and kind of get away with it as being this anonymous fan. He's letting the world know that he's a huge Steelers fan. And so this type of transparency, I think, and people are kind of communicating with him directly and so forth, this type of transparency is what fans are starting to do online. And it's mimicking real life. And I think that's just the amazing thing that we're kind of able to bring to the fans, and this ability to let yourself be known as a huge Steelers fan and meet all these other Steelers fans all around the world.
The original conceit of the web, or what they thought would be, which was anonymity, is definitely being turned on its head. Most people are transparent. What about how they just, what fans typically do? They they do the wave, and I know you have something like that. But what are some other activities besides showing how smart they are about, their knowledge of a particular team? What other things can they do in a group to show their passion?
Sure. So a lot of the things, I think around the internet, there's different ways that people are repackaging things and doing things in a new fashion. And so for us, the things that have driven fans to be online and communicate are kind of what we do, we just do it on steroids, or we're bringing it to the next level. So our discussion boards and blogs and analysis are huge. So people spend hours and hours interacting on our discussion boards, writing post-game recaps, kind of predicting what's going to happen in the Super Bowl, who's going to start who, etc. And in doing that, we also create new types of ways that information gets packaged up and delivered and consumed by users. So we have a trivia game that's extremely popular. We have our quizzes that are extremely popular. And so these are things where a fan is able to say, how much do you know about the Steelers? And the fans are contributing to the questions. The fans are contributing to that body of knowledge, editing it, moderating it, etc. But we have this thing that we call our everlasting trivia game. Fans continue to put new Steelers trivia questions into it every single day or after every single game. Fans are able to come back to our applications, go play our trivia game, show how much they know as a fan. You can see that this person's a savant and he's got 14,500 points. You get 10 points for every question right.
Of all the applications, all the features within that app, which is the most viral? Which draws other users to this group around the Pittsburgh Steelers? Or
it's a combination of two things. It's our quizzes and our waves, what we call our waves, which is an ability to basically send a virtual cheer. It's if you've ever been to a ball game, you'll see fans kind of in between plays start getting cheers going on.
What's the longest wave?
We've seen waves in 200,000 kind of wave. And so that's for our largest communities. 200,000 people have joined essentially this mini group that's about this kind of virtual cheer. It's a very casual thing that somebody can do in about 10 seconds to really show how, kind of pass along something that shows that they're involved with the game and participate at a very low level. And we bring in a lot of these casual fans because they want to show that they're the Steelers fan. But they may not compare it to this person who's probably spending hours and hours every week inside of our application. Giving both the casual fans as well as the hardcore fans a place to communicate and aggregate online.
So one prediction about how fans will interact online in 2009?
In 2009, I think you're going to see, especially from us, I can't speak for other sports sites out there, but from us, you're going to see a lot of fan participation for every single game. So our goal is to say, every game that the Steelers are playing, every game that the Lakers are playing, every episode that airs from Grey's Anatomy, there's going to be a ton of fan activity around that specific event. And I think it's going to be a really new model that we're bringing to the web.
Well, I'm going to create a fan base around my son's t-ball team. Create a fan base of about 20 people for that. Anyway, thank you, Kevin, for your insight into how fans are changing their behavior online. I've been speaking with Kevin Chou. He's the founder and CEO of Watercooler. I'm Bambi Francisco.